After about 12 years of using an iPhone, I decided to try out the Google Pixel 9 Pro. In this video, we'll be unboxing the Pixel 9 Pro XL and some of my initial impressions coming from an iPhone user. Now, if you guys been following me since the beginning of this channel, I cover a lot of Apple products. And although it's helped me grow my following, I decided to change it up a bit this year. I've been an iPhone user since the iPhone 4S, and I think it's finally time for me to branch out and test other phones out there. It seems like every new iPhone that comes out, I get less and less excited since it's only incremental upgrades. So when Google announced this phone, I decided to pull the trigger and get the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And that honestly got me excited again to create. I'll be using this phone mainly for work, business, and creating content. And also, side note, Google did not send me this phone. I bought this myself, so these are my honest thoughts and opinions. And with that, let's get right into it. Now, I was going back and forth between the regular Pixel 9 Pro and XL, and I decided to go with the XL, mainly due to the bigger screen size and bigger battery, which means it can last a whole day. I also wanted the larger screen for that extra real estate. Now, I'm currently using the iPhone 15 Pro, and after downgrading in size the past 2 years, I kind of missed having a bigger phone, so the 6.8-inch display size on the XL is perfect. Now, going with the XL does cost more at about $1099 with 128 gigabytes of storage. Kind of regret not going for the 256 gigabytes. The 256 gigabytes version is pretty pricey, and I honestly think the base should have started at 256, but it is what it is. The unboxing experience is what you come to expect from smartphones nowadays. It's pretty straightforward. You get the phone, and inside you get your standard guide, SIM ejection tool, and a USB-C to USB-C type cable for charging and transferring files. So that's pretty much what you get in the box. Now, I went with the porcelain color, which is basically silver or white, depending on the light, and it feels really great to hold. Very similar to how my 15 Pro feels, just slightly heavier, but that's because the Pixel is bigger. Here's a side-by-side comparison with the 15 Pro. I love the design of the Pixel, and I think the squared off edges make it feel premium along with the matte glass back. Under the phone, you have your USB-C port, speaker, microphone, and SIM card slot. On the right side, you have your volume rockers and power button where you can see the camera bump. The sides are reflective, which will definitely be a fingerprint magnet, but I am curious to see how this will hold up as I use this more in terms of scratch resistance. This doesn't bother me though. I think the reflective railings give the Pixel that extra pop, especially from the side. It definitely has that same iPhone feel, and honestly, at a glance, they look very similar. So up top, we got a microphone and the ultra wideband antenna. On the back, we got the camera system, which looks really cool. We have a triple camera system, which gives you a 50 megapixel main sensor, 48 megapixel 5x optical zoom lens, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle lens that also acts like a macro lens, which is pretty cool. Below the flash, you actually get a cool temperature sensor. You can take your own temperature and even objects. Setup is quite easy, and I'm super excited to use the fingerprint scanner, which is entirely new this year for the Pixel. It uses ultrasonic sensors instead of an optical scanner. Optical uses light in the camera, and ultrasonic should be quicker. You get a vibration feedback, which is a nice touch and feels great. You can also set up face unlock as well, which works for other apps. Now, I'll be setting mine up for that extra security. I also love the haptics for this phone. For example, when you're increasing or decreasing brightness on your phone. I'm already loving these small little details. The fingerprint scanner is responsive too, and initially I was worried that it wouldn't be as smooth as using Face ID on the iPhone, but having the scanner comes in handy, especially at night when it's harder to read your face. Oh, and it's super quick and make unlocking the phone extremely easy. The good thing about starting fresh with the new phone is I don't need to import anything since this is a new device. I just imported some of my phone's apps, and transferring everything from my iPhone to the Pixel was a really easy process. During the setup process, you also get a quick glimpse of Google AI with Gemini, which is one of the main standout features of this phone. I'm excited to dive in deeper with this in the next few weeks. After going through the initial setup, I was honestly impressed by the display. It's so crisp and snappy. It can go up to 3000 nits of brightness, and the display is super bright and vivid. It even runs up to 120 Hz for gaming, and scrolling is smooth. Another key thing I noticed when going through the settings is that the screen resolution is defaulted at high, and switching it to full will take advantage of the full power of the display. This will use up more battery, but I'm honestly okay with that. Now, speaking of display, if you want to spruce up your mobile device, I recently launched a new wallpaper collection. It includes 11 mobile wallpapers that are both compatible with both the iPhone and the Pixel 9, so if you want to support the channel, you can check those out, linked in the description. But overall, the display is fantastic whether you're gaming or scrolling through social media. The iPhone 16 is coming out in the next few weeks, so once I get a 16 Pro Max, we'll be doing a deep dive into more of these comparisons. Now you can't talk about the Pixel without mentioning the cameras. I just shot some photos of my desk setup and other things around my home, and the pictures came out great. It's sharp and the colors look awesome. I changed my camera settings to RAW and at the highest resolution for the main camera. Turning on these settings will have a slight delay when taking photos, but it doesn't really bother me that much. Just note you'll take up more storage if you opt in to save your photos as JPEG and RAW. One thing I'm already loving about the device is the front-facing camera. It has a 42 megapixel sensor, which is so much better than the iPhone. I hated that Apple hasn't upgraded that front face camera in a minute, and on the Pixel, it's quite nice. Here's some more shots I took while I went to go get some coffee. After importing some of the photos into Lightroom and tweaking it a bit, I'm really happy with the results. It definitely rivals the 15 Pro's camera. The ultra-wide camera on the Pixel is 48 megapixel and also doubles as a macro lens. You also get a 48 megapixel telephoto zoom lens, which comes in handy if you want to capture things from afar. There's a lot more features with cameras and videos, but I'm really impressed with what I tried so far. So stay tuned for my day in the life video, which is coming out soon. The new AI features are also a standout. One thing I got to test is the screenshot feature, which lets you save and recall information within your screenshots. I also love using Gemini to find specific products. So let's say, for example, with this one, hey Gemini, what watch is this?
Based on the image, the watch appears to be a vintage Omega. It has a classic design with a round dial, a leather strap, and a gold-toned case.
So I can see myself using this feature a lot since I do screenshot a lot of products and kind of curious what they are or kind of like the history behind it. So this is really cool. So here's another example of Gemini finding a specific product. So this time it's a pair of sneakers. Hey Gemini, what pair of sneakers are these?
The sneakers in the image are the Asics Gel Cayano 12.1. They are a retro running shoe that was originally released in 1997. The shoe has a classic white and blue colorway and features a gel cushioning system for comfort.
What makes Gemini useful is that I can even find specific locations to a restaurant. So let's say, for example, here, hey Gemini, where's Au Cheval located?
I found 2 Au Cheval restaurants. Which one did you have in mind? Au Cheval is located at 800 West Randolph Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607, USA. It has a 4.6 star rating on Google Maps. Au Cheval is located at 33 Cortlandt Alley, New York, New York.
So it's pretty good at even finding addresses based on an image, so that's pretty cool. Say what you will about AI, but it can come in handy in these situations. There's also Circle to Search, Magic Editor, and this new feature called Add Me, which lets you take 2 pictures and merge them into one to include someone after. This is a pretty neat feature, but I don't know how often I'll actually use this. It's much easier to ask a stranger to take a group photo, but it's more of a look at what my phone can do thing to impress your friends. The Reimagine Photos, however, is a solid feature where it uses generative AI, similar to Photoshop, and change up a scene. You just have to circle at what you want changed, type in what you want, and it works like magic. Now with this feature, I can see myself using this more often to possibly change the sky of a landscape into something more interesting. It's definitely crossing the line of being a fun to use feature, but not something I see myself using frequently. Now in terms of battery life, Google claims it will last over 24 hours with the XL and charging it to 70% in about 30 minutes, which is pretty impressive. I'm really happy I went with the bigger phone since my 15 Pro chews through battery, especially since I installed iOS 18 on it. Since I use my phone a lot during the day, the larger size means I can use this all day without having to charge it. So if battery life is important to you, I would definitely consider getting the larger size. After trying out the Google Pixel 9 Pro, I can honestly say I don't regret making this purchase. Sure, it's pricey for a smartphone, but for my use case of being an iPhone user, it is refreshing to experience a new phone again. There's so many details and features that I love about the phone. I'm big into customization, and just being able to select your grid size is a game changer. You already know I'll be deep diving into widgets and how I can make this home screen look aesthetic, so if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. But will it actually replace my iPhone 15 Pro? Well, only time can tell, and we'll see in the next few weeks. For now, this will be my main phone and device to capture photos, videos, and everything in between. So definitely stay tuned for the long-term review and my day in the life video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that, but are you guys interested in picking up this phone? Will this phone be your daily driver? Let me know. And if you guys want to see daily content and cool tech content like this one, you can subscribe to the channel. Other than that, see you guys in the next one. Peace.